I'm at 3394 Pinnacle Lane in Mason, Ohio, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, basically anything that would be of concern to the buyer. Our access point is a floor clean out here in the there's a little bit of unfinished area. If you're facing the house, it's the front right corner, of the basement. There is a sump pump in here, and then there's a floor clean out basically underneath the right wall as you walk through the little cupboard door that comes in here. You can see here is the clean out, and back here is the sump, so you can kind of see in relation where we are, and there is the rest of the basement. So there's a little bit of stuff on the front of the camera here, and I'm not really sure if it's had to be something dried or something on here. And so if we need to, when we get in here, we'll run some water and see if we can rinse that part off. But first we are going to go upstream back into the house. And so there's multiple branches that come into that, but mainly we'll be able to get the main part of the line, and we'll go as far upstream as possible. So you can see how it's just a little hazy here. So what I'm going to do is some of that has already come from what's inside the line here, but I'm going to run some water, and we'll see if we can get that rinsed off, and we'll also be able to witness the functionality of the line as we do that. So we are running some water in the rear left bathroom. So it may take a minute for the water to show up, but this is the furthest upstream fixture, at least in the basement. And so we'll wait for that to come through. Unless that comes through another branch, which we hope it doesn't, I'm also going to run some water in that bar sink, because that may be something too. It looks like there's some goo buildup in here, and sometimes that'll happen with PVC when the fixtures aren't used a whole lot, or if this just goes into the floor drain in the area with the HVAC, you'll just have like mold and gunk build up in the line where that, there's not a whole lot of water flowing through. Here we go. Or if that downstairs bathroom wasn't used very often, then that could be why we have this. So I'm going to kind of move this around a little bit, and we'll rinse that camera head off, and we'll see these solids should move now. Yeah. And so we'll push all the way to the back, and then if I need to, I will turn that water off. Until we are, and then let the water drain down. That way we can see a little better. It's pretty common to have the lines be really flat inside. So you can see the water coming through, but it's pretty common to have the lines be really flat inside the house. Have minimal slope on it. All you need is about 1/8 of an inch per foot. It's kind of like anything else. Grading, you need 1%. So 1/8 of an inch per foot is about a foot of drop every 96 feet of length. Roughly 1%. So should be getting back, and there we go. You're looking up into the bottom of the toilet in the back bathroom there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video again, and or not again, I'm going to pause the video. We're going to turn that water off back there and then see if we can let it drain down for a second. Alright, so water's drained down, and we will pull back and take a look, and that's also a very good sign, obviously, that everything drained the way it was supposed to, and the line is open. Everything looked really good structurally on the way upstream here, and as we pull back, obviously now the camera lens is a lot clearer so we can see what's going on. And with all that water running, it should flush that little bit of debris out that was sitting in the line when we went upstream. It's right here, I believe. Here's that spot there, and just a little bit of debris. I think it's because that doesn't get used a whole lot. So what I'm going to do is, because usually that this looks like food. It's usually the biggest thing that you have issues with is food buildup out of the sink line. This is pretty normal to see. It's not causing a backup or anything like that, but it's usually either food or build up from the, like I mentioned before, the condensate lines usually have a lot of minerals in them and stuff, but in this case it looks like just food that came out of the line, and then when you don't use the downstairs lines very much, it'll sit here and kind of harden, and it takes a minute for it to soften back up. You can see it is very soft, so I'm actually going to go ahead and we'll flush the toilet a couple times while we're in here, maybe run the shower to try to flush it. You flush that toilet back there? Oh, can you flush that toilet back there, please? So you should have some water coming through here at a pretty good clip here in a second. It should help push some of this stuff out, because like I said, a lot of times this happens when the downstairs bathroom doesn't get used, when the fixture doesn't get used for a while, it dries out, there's no water coming through. So we just want to kind of use that to flush the line out a little bit. It won't stick to the pipe like it does other materials. PVC is a lot more slippery, so it should flush that out pretty good with a couple flushes. But it's good to come down and maybe use that shower or use the restroom periodically, because you can see it's already flushing it out of there. This was that area. All that junk is already moved, so it just needs to use the bathroom every now and then. Yeah, you just need to use that downstairs restroom every now and then to keep it flushed out. Structurally, the line looks really good. It's in great shape. We'll rinse that camera head off as we get back towards the clean out here, and then we'll turn and we'll go downstream. Okay. Here we are. So now we're going to pull out. You can see we're at the clean out there, sitting vertical. And then we are going to go ahead and go downstream now and go all the way out to the main. The age of house, it should be PVC all the way out. May go into a different color, a green PVC. The white stuff is Schedule 40, which is normal for what they use. It's usually glued on the exterior, for the, like when the developer comes in to build the streets and put in the sewer mains before any of the houses are here, that they usually use a green PVC, and it's a different rating system. It's called SDR 35 instead of a schedule rating, and those are usually gasketed. They have like kind of rubber gaskets at the connections that allow for the line to move a little bit, and that way if the earth moves a little bit, it doesn't break the pipe, snap the pipe off. So again, we got a little bit of stuff on the front of the camera, but as we get out, we should be able to rinse the camera off and then be able to see a lot better on the way back, similar to what we saw before. And so here we go as we get into the green, the SDR 35, and like I mentioned, this is probably where they came in, and before any of the houses, the developer would have put in a sewer main and then ran part of the lateral, or ran a line across onto the property and stubbed it out. And that's why when you see neighborhoods before they're built, you have a bunch of green pipes sticking up on the lots without any houses. And then when they build the houses, the builder, sometimes it's the same company, will come in and run the sewer lateral out and then connect onto this piece. So a lot of times you'll see big drop-offs like we did before it, right as it connects at that spot. So we have made it all the way to the sewer main. You can see everything going by, and the line looked great. Since we did run all that water, if there was any low spots, they would be highlighted by standing water, and there's none of that. The line looked great in both directions. So as we pull back, we'll obviously take a little bit better look, but the line is in great shape. Structurally and functionally, it's working as designed. And the connections are nice and tight. There's no bellies or low spots. This sometimes happens when they backfill. Sometimes they can, when they're like when some of these sewer lines are 10-12 foot deep, and so in those situations, sometimes they can, it'll sink when they put them in. After they backfill, and sometimes you have some low spots, and we don't even have that. So the line looks really good. And here we are, back at the clean out once again. And everything looked wonderful. Line again looks like it should. Looks like it. Everything was installed well, and the line is in great condition. No structural issues. Nothing really to note at all. So that's exactly what you're looking for. So that'll end the inspection at 3394 Pinnacle Lane in Mason, Ohio.